Everyone, good morning. I am K Sharma and I welcome everyone. सबको बहुत बहुत welcome है on this channel that is CSR's IAS Academy. हम लोग will be covering the topics from 14th to 16th of 14th to 16th of December. Okay, important topics. So let's move further, or let's understand what is the table of content. So जो आज टॉपिक्स हम करने जा रहे हैं, द फर्स्ट वन इज WHO कॉल्स फॉर ई सिगरेट कंट्रोल. तो विल बी टॉकिंग कि किस तरीके से ई सिगरेट स्मोक क्रिएट करता है एंड ऑल, व्हाट इज द इश्यूज दैट इज कमिंग एंड what is the way forward. The second is asymmetric federalism. Here we'll be talking about the center state relationship and all that. फिर इसरो का विजन क्या है अबाउट 2047. राज्यसभा that passed the bill on CEC, what is it is all about. Then reservation, how it is a vital tool for equality and respect. We'll talk about the articles, we'll talk about the other features of that. देन WHO का रिपोर्ट आया है ऑन रोड फर्टैलिटीज़, तो विल टॉक इन डेप्थ अबाउट दैट. एंड अभी रिसेंटली COP28 हमारा कंक्लूड हुआ है एंड दैट देर इज सम चैलेंज, क्लाइमेट मिटिगेशन स्ट्रैटेजीज को अपनाया गया है. सो व्हाट आर ऑल दैट, विल बी रीडिंग दैट. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट टॉपिक एंड दैट इज WHO call for e-cigarette control. Before moving further on this topic, थोड़ा सा मैं आपको emphasize करना चाहूँगा that if you are preparing for UPSC, okay, if you are preparing for UPSC or state PCS services, ठीक है, state PSC services, you should, आप इसको फ़ोन करो, इस नंबर पे फ़ोन करो, talk to him. His name is Chandrasekhar sir. Chandrasekhar sir, and he's the founder of this channel and a great mentor. इनसे आप बात करो, इनसे आप बोलो अपने कठिनाइयों को, लाइक यूपीएससी में किस तरीके से प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करना है, किस तरीके से बहुत सारे जो पेपर्स हैं उनको डील करना है, किस तरीके से टॉपिक्स पे आगे बढ़ना है. नो मैटर व्हाट स्टेज यू आर एट, पीटी, मेंस और इंटरव्यू, go talk to him and he'll guide you thoroughly. Even I would suggest, if you have any optional related problem, go to him, talk to him, understand the program, all everything entirety, or have a word, think about it, analyze it and move forward. Okay, okay, so we'll start with the topic then. Okay, okay, so क्या है भाई, तो WHO ने बोला है ई सिगरेट कंट्रोल के लिए. तो ई सिगरेट होता है क्या है, तो एक बैटरी पावर्ड डिवाइस है दैट हीट अ लिक्विड. इफ यू सी द पिक्चर हियर, यू विल सी हियर कार्टेज, ठीक है, जिसमें लिक्विड जूस होता है, ठीक है. और लिक्विड जूस क्या करता है, इट हैज़ दैट एरोसोल क्वालिटी, जिसमें लिक्विड गैस के रूप में आएगा. व्हेन यू इनहेल यू विल गेट द स्मोक फीलिंग और आपके मुंह से धुआं निकलेगा. तो इट गिव्स यू अ सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ सेटिस्फैक्शन व्हेन यू आर एडिक्टिव फॉर सिगरेट. तो थोड़ा सा एक सिमिलैरिटी आती है. However, the reports, the WHO report and the emphasis they have made is different. So they heat a liquid usually containing nicotine, flavorings and other chemicals to produce an aerosol, ठीक है, which is then inhaled. They are designed to simulate the experience of smoking traditional cigarette but without burning tobacco. मतलब aerosol के फॉर्म में there will be chemicals in like nicotine and all that, जो आपको एक वैसा subconsciously satisfy करेंगे. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't smoked, but you won't be smoking tobacco. So this is the entire context. तो इस पे WHO ने क्या बोला है कि alarming evidence reveals adverse population health effect. कि ये जो प्रॉमिस हो रहा है, the promises are fake. Promises are fake and it's more addictive than the original one. So what are the key challenges? सबसे पहले तो harm to health. highly addictive and harmful to health. Potential linkage to increase cigarette use in a concern. मतलब leave alone that you will be leaving tobacco, you will start adapting this thing only. You habituated. Recruitment of children and young people. WHO director urges urgent control measure to protect children and non-smokers. Children being recruited and trapped into cigarettes leading to nicotine addiction. तो आजकल if you see go outside, so you will see n number of kids and young people, they are smoking cigarette like कल है ही नहीं, they are smoking a pack like 20 pieces 30 pieces in a day. गांजा फूकते हैं, वीड फूकते हैं, n number of things are there. So that's not the correct thing, जो मार्केट में सीप इन हो रहा है. The third thing, global marketing and regulation gap. Okay, what is in that? तो जो ई सिगरेट्स है वो अग्रेसिवली मार्केट किया जा रहा है. हालांकि 34 कंट्री ने बैन किया है. 88 countries lack a minimum age for e-cigarette purchase and 74 countries lack regulation for this product. So this is a serious issue, and I think every country, everyone, including our country, should have a thought on this, because it is spoiling the young minds. Excuse me. So definitely it's something we need to look for. Impact on youth and health hazards. Brief exposure to e-cigarettes on social media linked to increase intention to use and more positive attitudes. Young e-cigarettes users nearly 3 times more likely to be use traditional cigarettes later in life. मतलब अगर आप ई सिगरेट पी रहे हो तो देर आर वेरी हाई चांसेस दैट यू विल स्टार्ट स्मोकिंग अनदर सिगरेट दो जो ओरिजिनल टोबैको कंटेन करता है. अलार्मिंग फिगर्स ऑन यूथ, मतलब यूथ पे लेकर ये पूरा एकदम की कंसर्न है WHO का. Data reveals higher e-cigarette use rates among children, that is 13 to 15 years of age, than adults in WHO regions. Okay. Canada sees a doubling of e-cigarette 16 to 19 years old between 2017 and 22, while UK witnessed a tripling in 3 years. So there should be freedom, but with that reasonable restrictions are required. और नहीं दोगे तो यही होगा. What is health implication? तो सबसे पहले तो कैंसर, carcinogenic substance, toxic substance causing cancer and other increasing heart and lung disorders. Imbalanced development. Okay, what is imbalanced? Adverse effect include brain development issues and learning disorder in young people. Fetal risk. Fetal मतलब बच्चा जो inside the womb of the woman. E-cigarette negatively affects development. Bystander risk, जो आपके साथ हैं उनको भी रिस्क है. नेसेसिटेटिंग अर्जेंट मेजर फॉर प्रिवेंशन एंड कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव टोबैको कंट्रोल. वे फॉरवर्ड क्या है भाई? तो प्रिवेंट ई सिगरेट अपटेक, काउंटर निकोटीन एडिक्शन एंड अडॉप्ट अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव टोबैको कंट्रोल अप्रोच. इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ टेलर्ड मेजर्स कंसिडरिंग नेशनल सर्कमस्टांसेस. टेलर्ड, आप अपने कंट्री के हिसाब से देखो कि व्हाट इज द नीड फॉर योर कंट्री, है ना. सो लेट्स मूव फर्दर एंड we'll be talking asymmetric federalism. So what is exactly asymmetric federalism? In short मैं आपको समझाता हूँ कि फेडरलिज्म बोलते हैं कोऑपरेशन बिटवीन स्टेट्स एंड यूनियन, राइट. the federation is there, the union of states comprise the nation. So in asymmetric federalism governance जो मॉडल होगा वहाँ पे हर स्टेट इज नॉट इक्वल, एवरी स्टेट इज नॉट इक्वल. दे एवरी स्टेट का नीड अलग है. बेस्ड ऑन दैट द फेडरलिज्म इज decided or thought of. So governance model where regions within a federal state enjoy varying degree of autonomy deviating from the uniform distribution of powers. It accommodates diverse needs, granting specific state or regions unique provisional or privileges reflecting flexibility in the distribution of authority within the federal structure. Okay, so quasi federal governance क्या है जो हमारे इंडिया में है? Striking a balance between unitary and federal setups. In federal structure, states have varying degrees of autonomy and legislative power. what is seventh schedule of the constitution? Outlines union state and concurrent list, तीन list जो है union state and concurrent for legislation. In concurrent list, both the center and states can legislate with union law prevailing in case of conflicts. What is asymmetric federalism and special status? So it exists in India where not all states have equal status. I think Article 370, which was given to Jammu and Kashmir, that is an example of this asymmetric federalism. The states which are there in the northeast, they are having certain privileges than most of the states. So there are certain criterias for that, and जो भी state fit होता है they are put it. For example, Himachal is there. तो कुछ कुछ हैं जो there is requirement and it is given also. Examples: asymmetric Article 370, which formalized a special status with J&K and Center. 9 states, including Nagaland and Mizoram, have special provisions under Article 371A1, granting negotiated autonomy. Delhi, despite not being a state, has unique powers outlined in Article 239AA for administering the national capital. Okay. See, आप जो आर्टिकल्स मैं बताता हूँ जो देखते हो, हैव अ डीपर लुक, बिकॉज कि वो आर्टिकल्स नहीं पूछेंगे लेकिन उनके कॉन्टेक्स्ट को वो क्या बोलना चाह रहा है, द वे कोर्ट इंटरप्रेट्स, you have to interpret the articles, matlab not for judgments and all, so that if the question comes on that na, you are able to handle it, be it PT or be it means. कभी कभी तो इंटरव्यू में पूछ लेते हैं कि बताओ भाई आर्टिकल, आई वाज सीइंग वन दिस मॉक इंटरव्यू, दे आस्क्ड इन दैट कि आर्टिकल 239 में बहुत इश्यूज चल रहा है दिल्ली के रिस्पेक्ट में, what is the provisions and tell me how it can be sorted out. So you have to be vigilant on that. Temporary, transitional, and special provisions. Special provision for state, despite being temporary, lack explicitly expiry dates. For states like Nagaland and Mizoram, the negotiated autonomy remains protected under these provisions. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन है? इन द केस ऑफ J&K, द सुप्रीम कोर्ट रूल्ड दैट आर्टिकल 370 रिप्रेजेंट असिमेट्रिक फेडरलिज्म बट डजंट इम्प्लाई इंटरनल सॉवरेनिटी. मतलब आपके पास एसिमेट्रिक फेडरलिज्म तो है, मतलब यू हैव डिफरेंट नीड्स, अग्रीड, बट इट डजंट मीन दैट यू विल डेविएट फ्रॉम बीइंग अ स्टेट और मे बी यूटी और आपका खुद का अपना एक इंटरप्रिटेशन हो जाए कि आई एम अ sovereign or something like that. So it cannot happen like that, and that is the ruling by the Supreme Court. Let's talk further. The court emphasized the political and constitutional concession made to states, reason behind political necessity. हर स्टेट का अपना डिमांड है, बी इट तमिलनाडु, बी इट जम्मू कश्मीर, बी इट नागालैंड, बी इट गुजरात. हर स्टेट का अपना एक नीड है. अरुणाचल में कुछ और नीड हो सकता है. सो based on that things are decided, but it doesn't mean कि भाई if you talk about India तो ये यहाँ पे special need है तो it became a part of Pakistan or it became a sovereign thing. It doesn't happen like that. You have a different आपको है autonomy in certain respect, but again you are a part of the union of state, है ना. दिल्ली का यूनिक अरेंजमेंट क्या है भाई? तो इट इज नॉट क्लासिफाइड एज अ स्टेट, हैज अ डिस्टिंक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव अरेंजमेंट आउटलाइंड इन आर्टिकल 239A. Delhi again being a capital, they have different needs, catering all the parliament thing and all the people around that. तो obviously उनका एक अलग need है that needs different kind of administration which is there in article 239AA. Despite its unique status, it possesses legislative powers over subjects in both the state and concurrent lists, showcasing an exception in India's federal structure. You can give an example for this means कि बताओ भाई क्या एसिमेट्रिक फेडरलिज्म का बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल है? तो ऑफ कोर्स दिल्ली का केस है. Now let's move further on to our next topic, that is ISRO's. ISRO is a Indian Space Research Organization. ISRO's Vision 2047, Chandrayaan 4 and Bharatiya Antariksh Station. So why it is in the news? Because ISRO is planning to launch Chandrayaan 4 and भारतीय and to build a भारतीय अंतरिक्ष स्टेशन, इसलिए न्यूज़ में है। तो Chandrayaan, Chandra says clearly mentioned है कि it's talking about the moon. So what is Chandrayaan 4 mission is all about? The objective is to retrieve samples from the moon. कि मून का सॉइल, अगर सॉइल है तो मतलब वहाँ का स्ट्रक्चर कैसा है ना, जियोलॉजी क्या है वहाँ की, तो वहाँ से स्ट्रक्चर मतलब सैंपल्स लेके आने हैं। टाइमलाइन है अगले 4 सालों में। और जो क्या मतलब क्या डेवलप करना है, तो रोबोटिक आर्म, डॉकिंग मैकेनिज्म, सैंपल ट्रांसफर एंड री एंट्री कैपेबिलिटीज, ये हमारे टेक्नोलॉजिकल चैलेंजेस हैं। ओके, the SpaceX experiment of demonstrating autonomous docking capability to be launched in the next 3 to 4 months। तो ये जो एक्सपेरिमेंट है ये हमारा अगले 3-4 महीनों में होने वाला है। इट विल डेमोस्ट्रेट कि किस तरीके से ऑटोनोमस डॉकिंग, डॉकिंग मतलब जब एक स्पेसशिप एक जगह खुद को डॉक, कैसे शिप अपने आप को डॉक करता है डॉकयार्ड में, सर अगर जो स्पेसशिप होगा इज इट एबल टू डॉक इट सेल्फ और नॉट। So it is an experiment about all that. Bharatiya Antariksh Station, it will conduct experiments with the help of robots. The launch date is first module है वो 2028 में है। Aim to establish a space station by 2035 and send a man to the moon by 2040। So that is मोटा मोटी in the next 17 odd years। The plan is to कि हमारा चांद पे we'll be sending people on the moon। That is the aim basically in the next 17 years। ठीक है, 17-18 years। What is sustained human space flight experiments? This SpaceX showcase autonomous docking capability in the next 3 to 4 months। क्या फोकस एरियाज है? डेवलपिंग टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर सैंपल रिटर्न मिशंस including a robotic arm and mechanism for docking moon and earth orbits। What is Gaganyaan mission? Demonstrating of re-entry into earth's atmosphere with astronauts। तो ये तो इंडिया का काफ़ी प्रोग्रेसिव और एम्बिशियस प्लान है। आई एम श्योर ये बहुत अभी न्यूज़ में था कुछ दिन पहले, तो सबने बहुत ही पढ़ा ही होगा। चलो, व्हाट इज सस्टेन्ड प्रेजेंस इन स्पेस? तो टेक्नोलॉजिकल डेवलपमेंट, वॉकिंग ऑन फ्लैटेबल हैबिटेट मॉड्यूल फॉर एस्ट्रोनॉट्स टू कंडक्ट एक्सपेरिमेंट्स एंड वॉक अराउंड, रिफ्यूलिंग सैटेलाइट्स, ISRO introducing a model with robotic arms for maintenance and module replacement। अब we'll be talking what is NGLV, next generation launch vehicle। It is designed to carry 60 to 25 tons to low earth orbit। एक होता है जियो सिंक्रोनस, एक होता है लो अर्थ ऑर्बिट। तो ऐसे ऐसे करके वेरियस ऑर्बिट्स बनाए हुए हैं, इमेजिनरी ऑर्बिट्स बनाए हुए हैं जहाँ पे डॉकिंग होती है, स्पेस स्टेशन बनता है एंड ऑल दैट। वी लॉन्च द सैटेलाइट बेस्ड ऑन आर नीड। और कुछ किलोमीटर्स का ये होता है कि अर्थ के स्पेस से 80 है या 80,000, मतलब डिपेंडिंग ऑन कि कितना कौन से लेयर में आप डाल रहे हो। ठीक है, what is the timeline NGLV का? Development ongoing for NGLV to meet future launch needs। Collaboration discussing with NASA, USA for joint work potentially for the space station। I think जापान का जासा या जैसिक्स, जापान का भी यहाँ पे होगा collaboration। What is the collaboration prospects? Indication of potential collaboration with NASA and ESA for space station। Okay. The second is common interface, facilitating joint work and possibility of the Indian module docking with international space station। So जो इंडिया इसरो का विजन 47 है, इसरो का विजन 47 is advancing in lunar exploration, space station development and collaborative efforts for sustained human presence in space। In my opinion, the government which is spending for the lunar, Mars and all those exploration, they are very progressive in nature, and it is kind of a visionary thing, because in the near future it is our way out। if the climate change is not sustained or something happened like that. तो बहुत सारे मूवीज बने हैं, but still that is a visionary approach. Let's go to the next topic. Rajya Sabha passes bill on appointment of CEC and ECs, चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स. तो क्या न्यूज़ है भाई? तो यही न्यूज़ है कि राज्यसभा अप्रूव्ड द इलेक्शन चीफ कमिश्नर एंड अदर इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ अपॉइंटमेंट कंडीशन ऑफ सर्विस, मतलब बिल को अपॉइंटमेंट कर दिया है. एंड क्या अभी का प्रोसेस है, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट देन वी विल टॉक अबाउट कि बिल क्या प्रपोज कर रहा है, एंड देन वी विल टॉक फर्दर कि हाउ इज द क्रिटिसिज्म और वे फॉरवर्ड उस तरीके से. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल फ्रेमवर्क क्या बोलता है? तो आर्टिकल 324 से 339, दैट इज पार्ट 15 इलेक्शन प्रोवाइड दी ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रोवाइड दी फाउंडेशनल फ्रेमवर्क. ठीक है. और इंडिया में जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इट लैक्स, दिस इज क्रिटिकल, a specific legislative process for appointing the chief election commissioners and election commissioners, CCs और ECs का specific legislative process नहीं है. रोल क्या है आर्टिकल 324 का? इसका confers the superintendence, direction and control of election to an election commission. The commission comprises the CEC and other ECs, the number of which is determined by the president. What is pre-Supreme Court ruling procedure? Prior to the Supreme Court ruling in March 2023, the President appointed the CEC and ECs based on government recommendation. Basically, कैबिनेट ने एक नाम प्रपोज किया, गवर्नमेंट ने उनको प्रेसिडेंट ने उनको अपॉइंट कर दिया. So that was the earlier thing, convention or maybe the constitutional framework, but now things are changing. कुछ changes है, तो we'll talk on that also. प्रीवियस प्रोविजन के साथ क्या इशू रहा है? द 1991 एक्ट लैक प्रोविजन फॉर अपॉइंटिंग सीईसी एंड डीसी लीडिंग टू गवर्नमेंट ड्रिवन डिसीजंस. तो पहले कोई प्रॉपर, अभी ऊपर हमने पढ़ा है कि देयर इज नो प्रॉपर लेजिस्लेटिव कि किस तरीके से अपॉइंट होगा. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द बिल. द बिल एस्टैब्लिशेस अ 3-member सर्च एंड सिलेक्शन कमिटी कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ द पीएम, एलओपी लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन and or leader of the largest opposing party in Lok Sabha and cabinet minister for future appointment, introducing transparency to the process. थोड़ा सा इस पे बात करेंगे. अभी के टाइम पे आई थिंक CJI is also involved and now they have removed the CJI. देखो ऐसे में क्या होगा, दी कंप्लीटली जो अपॉइंटमेंट होगा, जब कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर हैं और प्रधानमंत्री हैं, they will belong from the same party or from the same coalition government, and when they are appointing that, definitely there will be no role of leader of opposition. He'll be a sitting member over there and उनकी बात का कोई वैल्यू नहीं रहेगा. क्यों? Because in the action they can do the appointment based on their choice, whims and fancies. So criticism तो है, this is an issue. The next thing is, the selection process replaced the previous method of the president appointing the CC and ECs based on government advice. The bill produces a protective clause shielding the CC and ECs from legal proceedings for action performed during their official duties. I mean, ठीक है, but again, under Article 142, Supreme Court can give the judgment, and I believe you cannot official hours में कर सकते हो, but again everybody should be accountable. The center introduced amendments aligning CC and EC's protocols, salaries and emoluments with Supreme Court judges. It's a good thing actually. The passage of the bill in the Rajya Sabha marks a significant step in restructuring the appointment procedure for key election positions, sparking debates on the government intention, constitutional implications. अभी बहुत बवाल हुआ है लोकसभा में, राज्यसभा में भी इस चीज़ को लेकर. तो लेट्स सी फॉरवर्ड कि क्या आगे डेवलपमेंट होता है, एंड विल बी इन कंटिन्यूसली गिविंग यू द अपडेट्स थ्रू दिस मेथड ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स. Let's move for the next topic. The next topic talks about reservation. a vital tool for equality and respect. So, is it? The question arises. In my opinion, we'll talk about the current affairs later. But in my opinion, reservation is good till the time it is being delivered to the people who are in the need. जो जिनको नीड नहीं है, अगेन वी आर गिविंग देम रिजर्वेशन जस्ट बिकॉज उनका नाम कोई रिपोर्ट में कमीशन में आ चुका है कि हाँ दे आर बिलोंग फ्रॉम सर्टन सर्टन कम्युनिटी ग्रुप. It doesn't make sense to me. EWS makes sense to me because not only for general but in general वो होना चाहिए. इकोनॉमिक एक पैरामीटर होना ही चाहिए. There are certain caste which require definitely this protection in the form of uh, क्या पॉजिटिव क्या उसको बोलते हैं डिस्क्रिमिनेशन. ठीक है, या सही है, मतलब रिजर्वेशन उनके लिए सही है. बट द पीपल हु आर गेटिंग नाउ डेज, एक आई हैव सीन वन गाय हु वाज देयर इन ओल्ड राजेंद्र नगर एंड वो एमपी या उनका बेटा था, किसी का तो मतलब बहुत हाई क्लास का बेटा था, इन इज बिलोंगिंग फ्रॉम शेड्यूल कास्ट. और पीटी उनका निकल गया बिकॉज ही क्लियर्ड इट. उनका शेड्यूल कास्ट का थोड़ा नंबर कम होता है, बट ही डिडंट डिजर्व दैट. ठीक है, क्यों? आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि वो गलत है, बट आई एम सेइंग कि इज ऑलरेडी कमिंग फ्रॉम अ वेरी गुड बैकग्राउंड with all the amenities, facilities and everything, and still you are getting that facility. वो सही नहीं है. So economy should be there as a barrier. ठीक है. So let's talk further about this particular topic. So Article 15(4), it is the First Amendment 1951, special provision for the advancement of backward classes. फर्स्ट अमेंडमेंट ही बोल दिया कि एडवांसमेंट ऑफ बैकवर्ड क्लासेस. इट वाज सो नीड ऑफ द ईयर उस समय भी और आज भी. आर्टिकल 15(5), 93rd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 2006, प्रोविजन फॉर रिजर्वेशन फॉर बैकवर्ड SC/ST क्लासेस इन प्राइवेट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस. ये तो सही चीज़ है, क्योंकि एक मूवी आई थी दिस हिंदी मीडियम, थोड़ा सा उसमें रियलिटी भी दिखाया, बट ऑफ कोर्स किस तरीके से देर इज़ अ डिविजन ऑफ कोर्स, बट एक गरीब का ही बच्चा, दे हैव दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी टू स्टडी इन सच फैंसी स्कूल एंड टू गेट दैट लेवल ऑफ एजुकेशन. मतलब बहुत अच्छा ये चीज़ है, बिकॉज एजुकेशन इज़ द फंडामेंटल एस्पेक्ट ऑफ अ person's life, and if you are well educated, uh, chances are there that you will be happy in your life. What is the crude reductiveness? The journey for most from reserve categories involves breaking through generation of trauma and institutional handicaps. This is so true. Dismissing affirmative action discourse as controversy belittles the struggles made possible by reservations. So, essentials roles of reservations. It is a guaranteed by the Indian Constitution, acknowledge and addresses chronic societal disadvantage. They are not freebies, but a means to create inclusive institutional spaces. I mean, certain castes have been so much of the subjugation has been so much. वैसे तो colonial टाइम में तो सब subjugated थे, but these certain castes from the Varna category, मतलब from the ancient times you will see the subjugation, so definitely they required that, and in some space this is true also. What is the criticism? Some criticize reservation for perpetuating mediocrity, viewing caste as a conduit for affirmative action. I'll give you an example. Recently, the Bihar government has increased the reservation from 60% to 75%. Of course, breaching the Indira Sani judgment and every judgment which has been given by the Supreme Court of India. Again, why they have done it? So, for me, the logical conclusion comes here that this elections are coming both for Bihar and this center. So OBC population is huge. They have conducted a caste census. So OBC and the category has these huge population, so they want the vote. So this is the cheap politics which is happening. So not only in Bihar but in other state as well. So इसके लिए तो बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. The next article challenges the perspective, emphasizing the deep social and cultural context that reservation addresses. Reality for marginalized individuals. For marginalized individuals, reservations serve as a means to overcome systematic barriers and pursue an uphill journey in society. It is a tool for affirmative action. I was talking earlier, na? Necessary as long as inequality is experienced by particular section of society. Caste consciousness becomes evident in situations like admission and job, recruitment, perpetual societal inequalities. Ending reservation condition to consider. Before arguing for an end to reservation, it's essential to ponder how often marginalized communities are discussed in everyday conversations. It can only aid when the dignity and respect of every marginalized person are maintained, ensuring a cohesive society. Examining merit and capital, the two considering the 2% difference in the cutoff of SRCC admission, the article questions whether this compares this to centuries of operation. That's true. That's true. Definition of meritocracy and mediocrity need to include social culture and gendered capital as well. That's true. Okay. Caste in one second. Caste in everyday life. Caste dynamics are deeply embedded in our lives, impacting rag pickers, sanitation workers, and even the judiciary. It's the defense for marginalized section in society where caste still plays a significant role. रिफॉर्म एंड एंगेजमेंट वेल हमारे सोसाइटी में इतना जो कास्टिज्म है देर आर टू अप टू अ सर्टन एक्सटेंट रिजर्वेशन इज ऑल्सो party to it. Reform and engagement. While considering reforms for reservations, engagement with inequality and discrimination is crucial. Should reservation should continue as long as discrimination persists, ensuring respect beyond financial or political equality. तो लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. WHO का रिपोर्ट आया है वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ऑन रोड फैटेलिटीज. क्या है ये? WHO report highlights rising road fatalities in India despite global decline. ठीक है, इंडिया में बढ़ रहा है इन स्पाइट ऑफ कि वर्ल्ड लेवल पे देयर इज अ डिक्लाइन. तो ग्लोबल ओवरव्यू एंड सक्सेस स्टोरीज. वर्ल्ड वाइड रोड ट्रैफिक डेथ्स डिक्रीज्ड by 5% annually, totaling 1.19 million. 108 UN member countries reported a decline according to WHO data. 10 countries achieved a reduction of over 50% in road traffic deaths, including Belarus, Denmark, and UAE. So, these are kind of a role model for us when we talk about roads and road death and all that. 35 countries made notable progress, achieving a decrease of 30 to 50%. What is the alarming surge in India? India witnessed a contrasting trend with a 15% increase in road fatalities. The total number of road traffic deaths in India rose from 1.3 lakh in those are thus to 1.45 lakh in 2021 as per Global Status Report on Road Safety by WHO. ओके, एक मिनट. हाँ, तो कंसर्न एंड रीजनल डिस्पैरिटीज क्या है भाई? व्हाट इज द कंसर्न? तो रोड क्रैशेस वर द लीडिंग कॉज ऑफ डेथ्स अमंग चिल्ड्रन एंड यूथ एज्ड 5 to 29 years. In the past decade, a 5% reduction in absolute numbers of road traffic fatalities occurred alongside a 30% growth in the global population. Regional disparities show 28% of global road traffic deaths in WHO's Southeast Asia region, with low and middle income countries accounting for 90% of fatalities despite having only 1% of world motor vehicles. तो बहुत बड़ा ये सिग्निफिकेंस रिमार्क है. Disproportionate impact in low and middle income countries. 9 out of 10 deaths in low and middle income countries. Fatalities rate in these countries were 3 times higher than in income countries, despite low income countries having only 1% of the world motors vehicle. One thing is also the less amount of trauma centers available on the roads. That is also one of the biggest reason, not having the proper lanes. बहुत सारे रीजंस हैं इस चीज को हमारे कंट्री में ग्रोथ का. Impact of vehicle growth. The global motor vehicle fleet grew by 160% during the same period. So the annual fatality rates per 1 lakh vehicles declined from 79 deaths to 47 deaths, representing a 41% of reduction. What is the regional distribution of traffic deaths? This content is lacking this why it is happening, why such road fatalities are there. So it should be there. Have a look कि क्यों road fatalities हो रहे हैं. Have a look what is the way forward. उसी से मतलब you'll have a better perspective. The regional distribution of road traffic deaths. WHO Southeast Asia region accounted for 28% of global traffic deaths. Western Pacific region 25%. African region एक data है, just have a look so that you can have a better idea when it talks about traffic management. And again, this is more of a means orientation of this question. And let's move to the next topic. What is the next topic? Climate challenges in climate mitigation strategies. uh, the ongoing COP28 climate talks in Dubai emphasize carbon capture and storage and carbon CCS and CDR technology, carbon dioxide removal. CCS and these are important. CCS CDR tech कहाँ पे आया? COP 28 कहाँ हुआ? दुबई, which is in UAE. ठीक है. The term abatement becomes contagious, highlighting the need to comprehend the limitation of both CCS and CDR. What is CCS and CDR? CCS involves capturing CO2, that is carbon dioxide, at emission source such as fossil fuel and industrial processes before release into the atmosphere. मतलब जहां से रिलीज हो रहा है वहीं पे इसको कैप्चर कर लो. Next is carbon dioxide removal, CDR. It encompasses natural methods like afforestation, technological approaches like direct air capture to absorb and store CO2 underground. Uh, Please make note of this. This is very important, and UPSC has this habit of playing with certain words. So when words have similarity, have a look, go into depth, and understand the true meaning of that. What is IPCC ARC projection? The IPCC sixth assessment report relies significantly on CDR for limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degree Celsius. The assessed scenario suggests sequestering 5 billion tons of CO2 by 2014, exceeding India's current annual emission. It's an ambitious target. Let's see how it goes. What is the challenges associated? So, scale and feasibility challenges. Scientists question the scale at which CCS and CDR can succeed, emphasizing concern about achieving ambitious emission reduction targets. Pitfalls of CCS and CDR. It raised concern creating more room for emissions by removing CO2, potentially undermining emission reduction efforts. The utilization of CCS to extract more oil raises environmental concerns. Equity issue with land use. CDR methods relying on land such as reforestation can impact land rights, biodiversity, and food security, particularly in the global south. Question arises about the fair use of land and potential exploitation by global north countries. The limitation of CCS and CDR technologies pose challenges in achieving global climate mitigation goals. The balance between technological innovation and environmental responsibility remains a key consideration in the ongoing battle against climate change. So, thank you for listening to my lecture. And before we end this lecture, I would like to say, if you are having any issue, as I stated earlier in the lecture, for personal mentorship, please contact this number, this 9971495322. ये नंबर है चंद्रशेखर सर का. चंद्रशेखर सर कौन है ये भाई? तो ही इज द फाउंडर of this channel. And for personal mentorship, trust me, this sir genius है इस मामले में to train for UPSC students. He has trained n number of students. I am also one of his students, earlier students. Or if you are having trouble in any of the place like PT, mains, interview, contact him कि सर आई वांट टू आई एम हैविंग दिस ट्रबल इन दिस पर्टिकुलर रीजन. ट्रस्ट मी, he'll guide you, he'll take you, he'll make you understand in the way you understand. और बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. जस्ट कॉल दिस नंबर एंड टॉक फॉर द पर्सनल मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम. So we'll come with the next chapter, next topics, few topics for the next dates. और मिलते हैं फिर. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye bye.